we'll start, Brendan.
So for the rushing tag against Clemson, I know that's not the standard that you guys want. I guess how close do you feel like you guys were to maybe having more sustainable explosive drives, and I guess what needs to get cleaned up moving forward?
Yeah, I mean, I give a lot of credit to Clemson. Man, they did a good job. They had experienced front, probably two of the best linebackers in the country. You know, when we had a chance to hit them, we got to hit them. You know, we missed a couple of those opportunities there. I was just talking to Mo Smith in the hallway not too long ago. He was saying, you know, Mo keeps me, he tries to keep me positive. You know, that's his job. And he told me, he said, well, Coach, last year, you know, we rushed a lot for him and we lost. And this year we rushed down and we won. I said, you know, I didn't, you know, I'll talk to him later about that. But it was good that, you know, we got the win. But no, we got a lot of, when we do get it blocked up and it's clean, we got to hit them. And when it's not, you know, we got to make sure we're finding a good thing to, you know, what they can do. You know, we're playing with some new guys with Bless Harris, who only started one game last year, Casey Roddick, who's new, Keandre, JB, Darius, who primarily have been taking all the reps at center. So I want to use him at different positions, but when you're training a center, it's not like you can just rotate him in practice. He has to be locked into that position. So I think with guys getting back healthy, with Rob making us, you know, have a possibility to come back, Mo being healthy, so we're back to kind of that normal rotation we had at the beginning of the season, kind of getting close to that. I think that'll give us, you know, a little bit more of what we're looking for, but we got to improve greatly. And we also got to do a good job of finding what they do well, because sometimes I get comfortable with what I like, and I got to make sure I'm doing what they do, what they like, what they can do, and what they're capable of. So the self-scout in these last 4 games have been very heavy.
Staying on the run game, last week, first 4 weeks, Virginia Tech kind of struggled against the run. Last week against Pittsburgh, they allowed 38 yards. What do they do differently, and how do you want to attack them?
I think fundamentally what they did was they tackled well. You know, they didn't miss many tackles, and they were able to penetrate the front a little bit. I think Pitt is having some trouble up front with some injuries and things like that too, so that takes accountability of it also. But in the end, man, as you watch defense, you know, as they're going out through the season, they're getting better. What you should is what we're looking for. You know, we have the results we want, but it's still a process of improvement. So I think, you know, they're tackling better. They keep it very simple. Now they got some things that could give you some problems with some wrinkles, but for the most part, you don't see major missed assignments and things like that. So they're doing a good job of playing sound football. They're tackling well, and when they make tackles, you know, they can make it tough.
On some of the, you guys had to take a lot of shots against Clemson the way they were playing. When those don't hit, I think a lot of times we look at the quarterback. Can the receivers be doing more to help Jordan on some of those? I know Keanu and Johnny made some great catches, but they also didn't come up with some.
And we're going to do that. You know, we don't, you know, of course, we want to hit them all every time we throw one. And it's always something different each time, whether it be the defense, what they present, they play it well, whether the receiver can do a job of separation, and with Jordan timing and protection also. So I think, you know, our identity on offense, we're going to take shots and we're going to push the ball down the field just because we got the talent to do it. We got a quarterback with a big arm. You know, and when they hit it, it's good. When it's not, we got to also find that consistency on the next down and still make up for it. But we don't shy away from taking the deep balls or the shots based off percentage. I mean, we'll keep doing it. You saw in overtime, we still did it, where possibly that was 2nd and long, where we possibly could have been a 3rd and long situation, but we still took the shot. So we believe in those guys to make the play. So we're okay with, you know, whatever the result is of us taking those deep shots.
Jack.
Going back to the run game, Trey talked about it last week, how you guys were, you know, close to finding the groove in the rushing and stuff like that.
Sounds good.
Yeah, I mean, getting close. Do you feel like the group is getting close to having kind of a breakthrough moment and kind of establishing that identity? I guess, do you feel that something's coming on in that sort of sense?
Well, yeah, I mean, you know, credit to some of the defense we played too. Clemson's a strong front, so, you know, I don't want to make sure that I'm discrediting them at all. And I mean, they stopped us, number one. But also with us, I think Trey's referring to, we had a couple of times to hit him, and we kind of missed those opportunities, whether for any reasons, whether it be us, whether it be O-line, whether it be back, whether it be whatever it was. But I think that's why the closeness is coming, because when we slow it down and watch it as a whole group, you see the development of it. You know, and now we got to do a better job of creating space and finishing the runs and making sure we're not tackled by the first guy. But the opportunities are there. We just got to take advantage of the opportunities.
Dustin.
Coach Neville talked about converting on 3rd downs. What do you have to, like? Is there anything you have to do differently, or is it getting shorter downs, or just like just converting them, like, and going on executing?
Yeah, we went and looked at all of them. You know, with the bye week, we had a little bit of time to evaluate it all, every play call, every detail, every all of it. And what we found is, you know, execution is number one. You know, we've had some times where, maybe we had a missed assignment or a drop or, you know, a protection error, whether it be O-line or back, but all the things we talked about, it came down to execution. So we think we're on the right track of what we're doing, and we just gotta execute at a high level. And you know, that's a part of getting better throughout the season. You know, we wanna make sure that we're getting better as we go now. We're thankful for the results and the wins, but there's still so much more improvement, and you wanna be playing your best ball toward the end of the season. And I think we got a chance, and our players, you know, coming back and watching this practice. Yesterday we practiced last night. I felt that coming back, because you're always worried, you know, you win a big game, get a bye week, you know, get some time off, and you come in on a Sunday night, and man, they attacked it. And we, you know, we try to make it forcibly uncomfortable. We work things that we might not have worked in a while, just to make that mental sharpness and test it, to make sure they're mentally sharp, and they did a good job. So I think they're optimistic and they want to get better, so I think we'll be fine.
Brendan?
You had mentioned newcomers on the offensive line or kind of having revolving pieces. Not that that was an excuse for you, but like you guys to have this data point of 4 games now, then have the bye week. I guess how hopeful is that for you to get, I guess, context for them of what these new guys can do, for them to go back and see what they didn't do, that kind of stuff?
Well, yeah, extremely helpful, because you know when you have, like, for example, Darius was the primary center, Casey Roddick first time starting for the nose. I'm rotating Meach, then he's rotating with Keandre, JB, then Darius still playing multiple spots. It's not they're doing what we're asking them to do. It's more of me of understanding what are they doing well, and make sure I'm highlighting that and not using what I've probably done in the past that's had a lot of success, and what are they doing well, and make sure I'm highlighting what they're doing well. I think that's more of the balance of it. Is, yeah, I'm gonna coach them hard. We got to block all that, you know, all the normal stuff you're gonna have. You can watch any football game. You know, you got to do stuff better. But what are they doing well, and what can I do to put them in better position to showcase their talents? You know, whether it be whatever scheme it is, and understanding that, you know, doing a better job of putting them in better position.
Coach Norvell mentioned the possibility of getting Kentron and Ja'Kai back soon. I guess what could that do for the offense?
Man, just depth and on totality. You know, I mean, those are good players. Ja'Kai's made a lot of plays in Doak Campbell and on the road, man. I mean, so many moments flash into my head of him, man, having some game-breaking time even from the first year. You know, I mean, him having some really good plays. So it's always good to have him back, and he's been in good spirits. The equipment staff has literally had to steal his shoulder pads from him every week because he wanted to go out there a little bit too early. So he's chomping at the bit. So I'm very excited to see him out there in practice this week. And Tron also, man, Tron has made a lot of plays around here too. So, and that's the balance I have to make always. You know, we're always looking for improvement, but I'm glad we've been able to showcase some other guys. You know, maybe this might not be going, but I'm glad to see Keon making plays. You know, I'm liking the other guys, Jaheim making some plays. So, you know, I know it's gonna come for the backs, and I know it's gonna come for the other guys, but with Tron and Ja'Kai, and that make it, you know, a little bit deeper, and man, it's a really good group of receivers.
Also, when you have an explosive offense and other teams are trying to keep you off the field, does that create a challenge in terms of guys wanting to do too much or pressing a little bit? And have you seen that, or is that not been?
Yeah, whenever you get limited opportunities, guys want to make plays, you know, and that's a part of it. But in the reality of it, we just got to be efficient. You know, whether they're trying to keep the ball from us or not, if you're efficient, it doesn't matter. I mean, if you're efficient and you're not wasting drives or wasting time, you execute at a high level, you know, they better be just as efficient. So that's the balance of it. I mean, they can attempt that, but as long as we're efficient, you know, you still got to score. You know, you still got to, you know, win drives and win, and put it in the end zone. So I think our efficiency is raised when we get in the red zone, when we do get the first down. I've liked what I've seen from the offense, but at the end of the day, we got to just execute and be efficient no matter what they're doing. I'm pretty sure coaches alluded to how the big picture as a whole team, how that works together to keep us on the field. So, man, we got to push the tempo a little bit more, probably play a little bit faster, and have do a better job on third down. But, you know, efficiency is the number one.
Asma?
I know Jeremiah played a lot of football before he got here, but maybe, you know, level of competition, the level of stress, whether it's playing in these sort of environments, how confident are you that he's learned the lessons he's needed to these first 4 games, and we'll maybe see a different kind of performance out of him moving forward?
Yeah, I haven't had much of an issue with JB. I think that gets blown out of proportion a little bit. I mean, he's still young. He's still learning the system and things like that. But I didn't walk away from the game disappointed with Jeremiah Byers. He's been fine. He had some mistakes there in the game where he, you know, ducked his head in protection once, and think that was the one, and then one we probably held on a little bit too long. We were trying to convert a long third yardage, which happens. We gave him some assistance, but he still ducked his head on it. But I've been pleased with Jeremiah's progress and how he's been doing moving forward. I think what happened was he came in and played at a better level, so his expectation level is higher, you know, but I look at it from the totality of, you know, I get to see him every day, but I've been pleased with Byers is doing as far as progressing as we go. But no, it was a good player he went against, you know, that's gonna be a part of it, but I also watched him go in that environment, not have any false starts, and still, you know, I know what I know what he's capable of and what he's gonna do, but I have no disappointments. I gotta coach him better in some of those situational deals, but he's been doing fine.
Ira?
On that note, how proud were you of that group, the way they handled, you know, the crowd, that defensive front?
Yeah.
And I know the rushing numbers aren't what they need to be and all, but just not having just, you know, some offensive lines crumble in those situations.
And that's a really good front, and they're old, they're experienced, they're fast, they're long, they're strong. I mean, it was a good front. So what I was proud of was just the resiliency to keep playing, you know, because I thought Bless Harris did a really good job in protection. I thought Mo coming back that week, because he still was kind of banged up from the week before and coming in having a solid performance. I was able to get Keandre and Meach on that rotation, which was good. Steve kicked him and rotating. So just to maintain poise in the environment, because there were some moments in there where we could have started doubting or disappointment and despair. Like I used the deal when I took JB out at the end and I put Darius in. That was more for the athletic matchup of that person. I knew Darius could do that better, but also Darius had to primarily work at center that week because Mo was still kind of iffy. So he didn't have a lot of reps at that position, but you know, he's a vet, so I trusted him in that. And he still, when he got in there, had some times where I could have, you know, snatched him up. But that's why I went there. And the first person that really brought that up was JB. Like that's what I love about that unit is they know how to find a way to win the game and play better at the end and trust each other. So I'm really pleased on where we are, and I can't wait to see us keep moving forward.
Bob?
Coach, I know you used a lot of two tight end sets in prior years, but it feels like you mentioned showcasing other players in the roster. It feels like you're showcasing Jaheim, Kyle, even Mark Houston.
Absolutely.
A little bit more. I mean, what have they kind of shown you, and then what's the next step for those guys too?
Just versatility. You know, we didn't shorten the playbook with those guys, and some of them just, you know, got here. They've been here, you know, one spring, one fall, summer. So being able to use them in different positions where guys can get a tip and still block and still pass game. I mean, we put a lot on that tight end play. We put a lot on that position, whether it be in the box or outside the box. They're asked to do what a tackle can do and what a receiver can do. And then you rotate multiple guys in there by situation. So I've been pleased because we've been able to use them in multiple spots and kind of still get the screen game going, still get the vertical pass game, and still get them involved in the run game, whether it be cut off backside, you know, so leading on front side plays, man, being attached and things like that. So once again, game 5 coming up, we should be able to start doing more and more with those guys, but I'm pleased at where they are now, and as we continue, I think it's gonna get better.
We'll go to Aslan for the last one.
What does Robert Scott mean to you guys up front? I don't think he's ever really gonna be close to probably 100% for you guys, it seems like, but just, I mean, I guess him just being out there, how important is it for you guys? How different does it make things for you?
Rob's a vet, you know, and you gotta remember Rob, Rob started pretty much, you know, since he's been around here. Him, when you talk about continuity, him being next to a guy that just got here is very valuable too, because then that will put him next to Casey, who you know, just going through he's going through his 5th game as an old. So those little bitty intricacies that you might not cover, Rob has done it, seen it, been through it, so you can tell, like, and mid-drive adjustments and things like that. I mean, he's like having another coach on the field. That's kind of the cliche deal, but it is. I mean, you watch Rob in practice. I mean, he even when he's not involved, he's involved, and motivating those guys. Even on Friday practice, I was proud of him because I really got on the guys on Friday just about some things that I wasn't pleased with within the walkthrough, and Rob was emphasizing those things that I talked about. So just another voice in the locker room that understands what it takes to win at Florida State. And sometimes that's not understood just based on they think, oh, I can go practice hard, man. It's so much deeper than that. And Rob has an understanding of that.
Okay, thanks, guys.
Thank you.